And now we're here with Miles Copeland, founder of the Belly Dance Superstars. Miles, thank you so much for making the time to be with us today. We're very excited to be speaking with you and to bring all of the information, the storehouse of information that you have about belly dance and your thoughts on it to our readers and viewers.
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's
Well,
always nice to be in
you.
Phoenix.
Thank you.
And always happy to talk to the belly dance community.
Awesome. That's exciting. So I read that you came to belly dance through promoting Middle Eastern music, and I'm wondering what about the dance in particular kind of drew you in? Because you mentioned in an article that you had begun to feel more attached to the dancers than to the music over time, and I was just wondering how that kind of evolved for you.
Well, I think the greatest lesson that you can learn is, the old saying, seeing is believing, Sorry, I seem to have, it's the President of the United States, sorry. Sorry, Mr. President, I'm busy right now. Yeah, I'll call you back, right? Where was I? Seeing is believing. When you watch something that's great and you go, wow, I'm really enjoying this. This is impressive. I would pay to see this. Bing, a light bulb went off in my head, and I went, wait a minute, this could be something, this could be really interesting. It's true. I started thinking I'd be promoting music, and I had an album called Belly Dance Breakbeats by a group called Ojami, and I thought, well, we'll promote the album by getting belly dancers to dance to the album. And then we had this contest, and I'm watching the contest and watching the girls dance to the music, and I loved the music. And then I watched the dancing, and it was a matter of adding two and two. You go, wait, the music's great and the dancing's great. Wow, this could be a show. So it wasn't something I sat back one day and said, okay, I'm going to create a belly dance show. It was something where we were creating a vehicle to sell music, and then we saw something else. And then as we formed the troupe and we went out on tour, then you begin to realize that these dancers are every bit as much a star as were Sting, with the Police or the Go-Go's or anybody else. That these ladies were totally dedicated. They were out there to perform. They studied hard. They had every one of those star elements to it. And so, whereas in the past I probably would have thought of dancers as backup thing to musicians or whatever, like you see videos or whatever, there's dancers there and all that, but it's really about the singer or whatever it is, and they're the frame. And I really realized that the dancing itself is really exciting. And then of course we have Dance with the Stars, and so you think you can dance on all these dance shows that go on TV, and all of a sudden people woke up to the fact that, wow, dance itself really is an attractive art form. And I think those elements helped us as well. So, taking belly dance and showing people that it could really compete in a mainstream setting, taking dancers and giving them the opportunity to really excel on a daily basis because they have their backup and support, and taking it out to beautiful theaters like we here at the Mesa Art Center, and you see the art form the way it really could be. I think it's a very exciting thing, and to see that progress, has been really, really great for me personally.
Cool. Yeah, I was surprised to learn how actively involved you are with the production, and that you appear, on tour, during the tour. And we spoke yesterday with Sabah and Lauren, and they were telling us that you've even had to jump in last minute sometimes and put a prop together and things like that, and you could really tell that there's sort of a family feeling among your dancers, and that you're sort of the head of the family. I thought that was really interesting.
Well, that's nice to hear, but it is. I think the more involved you are, the better you'll be at your job. I love to get behind the merchandising booth and to see how people respond to the stuff we have. Are we selling stuff at a good price? Is the stuff they like? You can really feel your audience, because sometimes in the rock and roll world you can get so detached, and I know from the days of the Police and Sting and the big rock acts that I've worked with that, the acts can sometimes get so divorced from the audience that they sort of lose touch with really the common person. So I've always had the thought that, I can't ever get that way. I have to really be in the thick of it. I have to carry people's suitcases as they get into the hotel, or, Napoleon always said that he would eat what the troops ate, so he would know how long he could push them, So I sort of feel like that,
Eating with
Hopefully
your
not quite as dictatorial as Napoleon, but certainly, the idea that, you've got to really experience what you're putting people through, And, this is not an easy tour. We're doing 65 cities so far, and I'm about to add another 10, and that will make it the most extensive tour in the history of American dance. No dance troupe has ever played that many cities on one tour,
Wow.
ever.
Very impressive.
And you know, most of them are one-night stands. We're doing a couple places. We do 2 nights, like in Hampton, Virginia, or Baton Rouge, or whatever. But mainly, it's like a rock and roll band on the road, man. Every night, you do the show, pack up, onto the next city, off you go. You know, so it's pretty grueling. You know, so you have to have ladies. And the other thing I've learned, by the way, is that you have to have ladies that really are in good shape, because if you have people that are really don't have the stamina and really don't have the drive to do it, you know, 2 or 3 shows in, they're going to flake out, and now you're not going to have a show. So you are forced to really look at dancers from the perspective of not only can they dance, but do they have, you know, what it takes to be able to go on the road for 2 months and perform every single night. And indeed, you know, many of them have to get up early in the morning to do the TV show in the morning. So, you know, you drive through the night, you know, you get to this next city. Okay, you 3 go off to do that TV. You 3 go off to do that TV. By the way, we have to have you back at the venue at 4 to do the rehearsal, and then bang, you have the show at night. And by the way, you got to look pretty for the whole damn thing, you know. So yeah, it's a grueling thing. But of course, it gives an amazing experience. You know, so when our girls you know, finish a tour, I mean, they really are at a level that, you know, has rarely been reached in belly dance.
Really interesting to me how this work with the Belly Dance Superstars seems to take all the elements of your personal history and tie them together really neatly. Kind of interesting.
Well, I guess that's interesting as well, because you know, I did grow up in the Middle East, although I never really at that time thought much about Arabic music, although I went and saw, you know, Fairuz and Sabah and acts and all that, and I heard the music all the time, so it must have been coming in my head, and I'd seen belly dancers and all that, but it never really clicked until I actually saw it, and I went, wow, and then my past must have then had a relevance, you know. But, you know, I mean, we're almost now at 800 shows. I've got to go figure it out, because we should have a celebration when we reach our 800th show, and 22 countries. You know, that's not bad going.
Yeah.
Well, we're very proud of this new show, and I think that people will be really surprised. I mean, our whole point is, you know, you're going to walk out of there saying, wow, it's more than I thought, you know. And we have our surprises, and we have, you know, I would hope that anybody into belly dance will walk out of there saying, wow, I not only did get my money's worth, but I got more.
Well, we're really excited. We're going to be front row center tonight.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
All right,
We
glad
really
to be here.
appreciate it. This is Kandahar with Mystique in Motion magazine, here in the beautiful Aikido Theater at the Mesa Arts Center. We'd like to thank Miles Copeland, the Belly Dance Superstars, Insight Management, and the Mesa Arts Center. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.